Choosing the best property for an HMO. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to choose the very best types of property to convert into HMOs. I'm going to tell you what checks you need to make on a property to ensure it will make a good and hopefully profitable HMO. Hi, my name is Mark Lloyd. I'm co-founder of Property Master Academy and I've been a property investor since 2005. Now, I've said it many times, an HMO or house in multiple occupation can be a fantastic type of property investment. HMOs can offer great cash flow at high yields. Yields from an HMO can be double or even up to 4 times that of a single family let. But this is very important to know. Not every house is suitable for converting into an HMO. And some types of property are much better for HMO conversions than others. So keep on watching and all will be revealed. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to hit that like button so that others just like you get to see this video. And also subscribe to our channel so you get notified of new videos as they are uploaded each and every week. Now, there are 2 main issues you should consider when you are choosing the best property for an HMO. 1, what type of property works best for an HMO? And 2, whether a property will meet the HMO regulations. So firstly, what type of property works best for an HMO? There is no doubt that large terraced houses or townhouses are absolutely perfect for HMOs. These houses have minimum or no outside space, so a high proportion of the space you're buying will be lettable space. They are also often excellent value for money. Now, there is no reason why detached or even a semi-detached house cannot be an HMO as well. You should be able to charge extra for a house with a garden and parking and so on. But usually you pay a premium for these properties. There will also be extra maintenance costs like gardening as well. And you may not always be able to recoup that in extra rent. I should also briefly mention that converting a commercial building can be another way to create an HMO. For example, offices, space over shops, pubs, bed and breakfasts or care homes. Although converting such a property may cost more to do, redundant commercial properties can be very good value for money. So how big should an HMO be? Well, generally I advise that an HMO should have at least 6 letting rooms. This should enable you to cover all your running costs comfortably and generate a decent profit. HMOs of around 6 to 8 rooms are also relatively easy to manage. But there is no reason why you cannot create a much larger HMO, as long as you're willing to take on the extra work, of course. And here's a neat tip to help you get the very best returns from your HMO. Look at how you can maximise use of the available space. So for example, can you use the reception rooms as letting rooms? A very popular type of HMO project is to buy a 4-bedroom house and then turn it into a 6-bedroom HMO by using the living room and dining room as extra bedrooms. So next, let's look at the regulations to determine whether or not a property can be used as an HMO. So HMOs must comply with what are known as minimum amenity standards. Now, these regulate the amenities and also the space that must be provided to your tenants. Amenity standards can be quite complex because whilst there are national amenity standards, local authorities are also allowed to impose their own higher standards for HMO licensing purposes. And these can vary considerably from place to place. So you must check with the local council to find out what their exact HMO standards are. I'd recommend you do that immediately you find a property you think might make a good HMO. And you can check this out on the local council's website. There's also minimum bedroom room sizes are the main standards to consider. National regulations state that a letting bedroom in an HMO with shared facilities must be at least 6.51 square metres in size or 10.22 square metres for 2 people sharing. And as I said, councils may set higher minimum room standard sizes, and that will also be on their website. There are also often other standards to consider. For example, a room without natural light and ventilation, i.e. a window, can't be a habitable room. An inner room, i.e. a room which can only be accessed through another room, such as bedroom or living room, can't be a bedroom. Habitable rooms must normally have a minimum ceiling height, for example 2.14 metres and sometimes more. So space under sloping ceilings might not count towards the room size. Now, a good way to maximise returns from an HMO can be to convert attic rooms and basements into letting rooms. Now, this is usually allowed, but these spaces must again meet the minimum amenity standards as well. Sometimes attic rooms and basements do not. The other important amenity standards to consider are the communal facilities a house needs to be for an HMO. So national regulations simply state that there must be adequate cooking and bathroom facilities for the number of people living in an HMO, and that they must both be suitably located. But as with room sizes, different local authorities have different standards. So you must check. For bathrooms, a rough rule of thumb is that you'll need one bathroom and one WC, either combined or in separate rooms, for each 4 or 5 residents. For living space, a rough rule of thumb is that an HMO occupied by 1 to 5 people will need a kitchen of at least 7 or 8 square metres plus communal space of at least 11 square metres, or about 15 square metres in total in the case of a combined kitchen and living space. Larger HMOs will need an extra 1.5 square metres of kitchen space plus 2 square metres of communal space for each extra person. Now, normally, only 10 people can share a kitchen, so larger HMOs need more than one. Now, a couple of important points to consider about these standards. You may find you need to do some work to achieve the minimum standards. Yes, you may be lucky and find a property that is ready to go as it stands, but this won't often be the case. You may need to fit an extra bathroom or 2, or knock 2 small rooms into one. That's as well as other work like fire safety work and so on. Now, this is perfectly normal when converting a house into an HMO, but needless to say, you have to take the cost of doing it into account. Also, the minimum amenity standards for HMOs are just that, they're the minimum standards. Many HMOs today offer more than the minimum required space and more than the minimum standards in kitchens and bathrooms. Some have rooms with their own kitchenette and ensuite bathroom. Indeed, a house that offers more than the minimum accommodation will probably earn you a better room rate as well. It's just that unless a property complies with the minimum standards, it will not get an HMO license and cannot become an HMO at all. So you must make sure that it does. Whenever you spot a property that could potentially be an HMO, I'd recommend that you quickly check it against the main points I've listed above. That will help you filter out the non-starters, and it will help you put together a short list of possible properties that could be your next great HMO investment. Well, I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, then please hit that like button so that others just like you will get to see this video, and also subscribe to our channel so you get notified of other videos as we publish them each week. And appearing on your screen right now will be more videos that will help you in your property business. Thanks for listening.